So we continue now with using Symptom Clipboard Part 2. So first, something about the analysis method. So if I click on the chess icon, I see here sum of symptoms and secondary sort degree. This is the most common used method. So first, the number of symptoms which a remedy covers is counted. Then if they score the same, then the number of degrees is taken into account. So let's look here. Lachesis here has 5 symptoms, natrium also, pulsatilla also. Then Lachesis has a sum of degrees 9, natrium also, and pulsatilla 8. So Lachesis and natrium here have an identical score, and then they are placed alphabetically. So 5 is the total number of symptoms that remedy covers. So let me check here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And 9 is the sum of the degrees. So 4 and 1 and 1 and 2 and 1 is 9. So you see here that, for example, now pulsatilla, sepia have the exact same score. They are placed alphabetically, and then comes tuya, which also has 5 symptoms, but a sum of degrees only is 7. So if we switch here to sum of degrees and secondary sorted symptoms, you see that the first is the number of degrees which a remedy has, and then the number of symptoms. Okay, so let me put it back here at sum of symptoms. You see that there are also a combination where sum of symptoms and degrees is added into one amount. Then there's prominence, that is relatively how important a remedy is in a symptom. So if you have a very large symptom, for example 200 remedies, but there's only one with a degree 3, that remedy is very prominent. Then you have small remedies. This is small rubrics. Small rubrics, for example, is that those remedies which are present in the smaller rubrics are relatively more important. This is small remedies and small rubrics, and this is only taken into account the sum of symptoms or sum of degrees. And then there are other analysis methods like Herskew, Vituka's expert system, or miasmatic analysis. Okay, let me make sure it's sum of symptoms sort degree. Okay, so that is about the method. Then something about intensity. You see that here I have 6 symptoms. This is the number of remedies in the rubric, so the rubric size, and this is the intensity. And you see that all symptoms have an intensity 1. Now it's possible to give an extra value to certain symptoms. So let's say jealousy is very intense, you can give it an extra intensity. Now how to do that? You can click on it and then right mouse click, and then you select change intensity, and I do, for example, a 2 or 3. And notice also that there is a 0. That's a nice trick that you can keep a symptom in your clipboard, but you do not want that it has any influence on the score. So let me do here, for example, a 3. Now you can also do as follows. If you want this symptom to be changed, and this one and that one, you can do them all individually, but you can also use on the keyboard on Windows Control click and on Mac Command click and select here those symptoms. Now if on the keyboard you press the number, so I press here the number 2, you see that this one, and that one in one go has been changed. So first you select a symptom and you hold down the Control key on Windows and the Command key on Mac and select, for example, this one. Now on the keyboard I press the key of the number 3, for example, and you see this one has a 3 and that one has a 3. But you must be careful, of course, to use this because it has a relative lot of influence. So let me put them all back to 1. I just say on Windows, Command A, and on Mac, Control A to select all. And then on the keyboard, I do the number 1 and everything is back to 1. Okay, the next thing is you often want to combine some symptoms. So you find some symptoms which are relatively small and cover more or less the same. So let me try to find some example. So if I'm in synthesis and I see here face, eruptions, herpes, lips, and I say, oh, I see, okay, upper lip, right, but okay, let's say I want to find symptoms with vesicles on the lips and herpes. So on the keyboard I do question mark and then I say lips and then I say vesicles and enter, and I want to search in one go both symptoms, so lips vesicles and lips herpes. So then you use the pipe, so that's the vertical bar, and I type herpes. Okay, enter, enter, and I'm searching the current document, and the current document is the book where you came from, so the document where you came from, and I came from the synthesis, so I'm searching now only in the synthesis. So I see here, for example, herpes lips, the general rubric with 23 remedies. I want that one. About, that is more around. So let's say I really want on the lips. Upper. Let's say I want this one also, herpes lips upper. And I want here herpes lips lower. Okay, I've selected now here 1, 2, and 3 symptoms. So let me drag them here to clipboard number 1. I won't let it go now because I want to show you I can also use here in the top menu bar take and immediately take with intensity. So let me just take with 1. So you see there are now 3 symptoms added. I could also have taken them immediately and grouped them together. But I want to show you how you do that manually now afterwards. So let's say I want to group these 3 into one symptom that is being calculated as if it is one symptom. First I select them. So on the keyboard I do Control click on Windows and Command click on Mac. I select them all. Now I do right mouse click and I say combine. So I click on combine. Now there are 2 possibilities. You can combine them and leave the symptoms in the clipboard, or you can create really a new combined group so the 3 symptoms will disappear and you can make one combined one. So I type here something, so type here a new name. So I won't do that. I will do this method that I want to keep all the symptoms in my clipboard, but I want them to be calculated as if they're one symptom. And I give them a name, so a group name A. And if there's a second group, you can give it the number B and C, etc. So I say group them, and you see here now the letter A in front of these symptoms which have been combined. Now if you add up here, if you do the sum, you will see that it covers 6 symptoms and in total the sum of degrees is 12. Because here this symptom number 7 and symptom number 9 is just counted as one symptom. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. It has 6 symptoms. Now also these degrees are counted only once, and when a degree differs between one symptom and another one, it takes the highest one. So if you add up here 1, 2, 2, 2, 2 and the 3, you come to 12. So that's combining. So combining, there are 2 methods. You can leave the symptoms as they were and they are just calculated as one, or you can really replace them with one new symptom which covers all the remedies. Okay, then there's another thing. You can make a symptom eliminative. So, for example, let's say you say it really must be jealousy, and I trust the rubric. The symptom is very strong, and it must be one of these remedies which are in there. Then I click on the symptom and then right mouse click, and I say change the qualification, and I make it into an eliminative rubric. So what does it mean? It means that in your analysis, all other remedies disappear, which are not in that symptom. So I select here Eliminative, and you see there are now 92 remedies in this rubric, and in total in your analysis now are only 92 remedies left. Now I see I made a little mistake. You see there are remedies which are grayed out, and there is a local option. If you click on it and you click on remedies, you see that remedies excluded from the analysis, normally they are hidden, but I have selected show them in their position. So I do here hide. So this is the normal situation. I make this rubric eliminative. It means that you throw away all other remedies which are not present in this rubric. So if I go here to the right, it stops at 92. If I want to keep track of those remedies which have been eliminated, I can use this option, which is remedies excluded from the analysis, and I can say show in their position. Now you see that these remedies are actually eliminated, but I can still see them. Okay, let me put that back. I turn this off. I say remedies excluded from the analysis, hide. And this symptom, I do right mouse click and I say change qualification, and I make it into a normal rubric. So it is a rare situation, but sometimes you want to take a symptom and then say, I do not want these remedies anymore in my analysis. So that is a right mouse click, and that's change qualification, and that is exclusive rubric or an excluding rubric. That means that these remedies which are present in that rubric are excluded from your analysis.